because he knew that he had a bakery where he sold cheapest brand of bread, but of the best quality that you could find in Lagos and its environment. Wanted to feed everybody, but that became impossible at this stage. When Babangida came, of course Babangida was there since 1989 because it was Babangida that we were fighting in 1989. Made our lives miserable by the introduction of structural adjustment program, and said that look, this will not work for us. So Abiola invited a couple of civil society organizations, including CLO, CDHR, and a few others. CD and ADECO were not formed by them. He explained to us and we believed him. And he actually was working it up. When Babangida eventually and reluctantly allowed electioneering to start, nobody believed him. And if you remember, Mr. Alao Akabashonu said that Babangida had a hidden agenda because of regular postponement of what he called transitional program. He didn't conduct election. He didn't do anything towards it. A few days to the end of his promise, he will change the date again. And nobody could query him because you have this Supreme Military Council. He called it differently because it would win us. When he took over from Buhari, he would win us that he was going to run a military government with civil face, and he adopted the title of president. He made us discuss, debate, whether or not we should take 2.8 billion naira loan from IMF. We said no, because it is not because we didn't deserve to have the loan, but the conditionalities were unbearable for an average Nigerian. We said we couldn't go through that our own experience. Eventually, Babangida and our dad, or one of our fathers, who is now a king, Anoba, decided that yes, Nigeria said they don't want the loan, but they will impose the conditionalities on us. And that conditionality was what led to structural adjustment program. That means that, yes, it was SAP. And it was sapping us. It sapped our educational institutions, rationalized the courses they studied there. The courses that were allowed were those that are useless to our national development. We knew it, but we didn't have the power to stop it. They commercialized all the commanding height of the economy in Nigeria, and everything fell tumbling down, and a lot of essential products became so expensive that no common man could reach it. We shout here. Eventually, June 12th came. When we discovered that MKO Abiola wanted to contest, we said, Chief, these people will rubbish you. He said, no, I know them. They are my people, and I know what to do with them. Of course, he knew he could have dealt with them, but for betrayers of his co-travelers, everything that led to June 12, and that is why some of us don't agree that June 12 was a democracy day. What kind of democracy was that? Before that time, about 30 associations that wanted to transmute to political parties were banned. About 20 or so associations that have been registered as political parties were also banned. Several politicians who wanted to contest elections were not allowed. They were also banned. Was that democracy? No. Now, governments started NRC and SDP. NRC was National Republican Convention and SDP was Social Democratic Party. The NRC was a little to the right and a little to the left, which was fraudulent and ideology of fraud. And I said, what kind of ideology is that? If you want to be a rightist, be a rightist. If you want to be a leftist, be a leftist. You can't be a gabagebe nígbẹ́ kó máa sọ pé o wà lọ́tọ̀ tó wà lọ́sí. Kò sí a little. There's no midway. Be a capitalist, be a socialist, be a welfareist, be whatever you want to be, and declare it. What Babangida wanted was an escape route. So that if eventually became our president, he will have something to say that, look, I didn't promise you that I will operate upon welfareist agenda. We knew it, and we told him so. MKO Abiola was pitched against Bashir Tofa. But this program was relatively unknown, very obscure. MKO Abiola was an indiscriminate philanthropist all over the world. All over Nigeria. He doesn't recognize religion. He didn't recognize tribe, your background, or whatever, or your socio-economic status. He was just doing his own thing his own way. Giving was his second name. This house was a maker of a sort. All sorts of people will come. The journalists, when you came and started Tabati Kurtonga, he knows your whatever, and he did it. So, when election came and gone, all the police stations have advertised the result of election in all the police stations, and we were compiling it under what Elijah, comrade Elijah Aminatu Irawo showed us. We had the result, the complete result with us. It was about 4 o'clock or thereabouts that the announcement of results was stopped on radio. Then we were agitated. That was happening. We didn't like the transition program of Babangida now. But then, we wanted it to stay through so that at the end of the day, if you want to fight the president, we fight him legitimately because we will have the claim that it was our ballot that brought him to the office and that we are the owners of the instrument of governing and we can retrieve it. And we told Babangida too that the gun you are winning, the times and the environment was procured for you by our sweat and blood. And at the appropriate time, we're going to retrieve them. Well, we waited first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, until June 23rd, when a clear statement from his press secretary came that the election had been annulled. Everybody was saying about Kilo Shelley. Nibo ta commit life was even back here, I agree, but we didn't agree with them that option A4 was the best choice because it didn't protect our right to privacy. But we did it all the same. The reason why we had that overwhelming result of support for Abiola was because of the Hope 93 slogan and fair way to poverty. We believe him because he had already started doing it, even before he dreamt of contesting election. So we believe that yes, he will banish poverty on our land. And we keep on keeping on. So when they truncated that process, look that heaven was let loose. We didn't stop agitating. Several organizations, CDHRCLO, which later cooperated under what we call Campaign for Democracy. And when Campaign for Democracy kept on moving on, a lot of our leaders had been arrested. Some of them had disappeared. A number of journalists that published what they didn't want in the media disappeared or died mysteriously. A lot of things were happening that we didn't stop. We sacrificed our lives everywhere. Blood was flowing. Now, when the election was cancelled, Abiola left Nigeria because he saw betrayers on the faces of those who were in the same party, SDP with him. His deputy, his running mate, Baba Gana Kingibe, has kicked him out. He said, okay, is he out? Yes. He betrayed Abiola. Then, when he was abroad, we had to send Khalifa and his legal luminary to him to convince him to come back, that we will be here for. He didn't believe us. He said that, look, we are not politicians. We didn't understand politics. Then we organized those that understood politicians. Paratoni Nahoro, General Anyakeyade, Professor Bolaji Akiyemi, Senator B. Idrojaye, and the rest of them came together under what was called Nadeco. He saw the array of names, including Yunus B. Kanu, Ralph Obiora, and a few others, were put together under the platform of the Nadeco. He believed them. He knew that they could do something. He knew their pedigree. He knew that they were honest. He knew that they were thoroughbred agitators. He came back. And we made him make a declaration at the Pesedo that he was the president. That time, Abacha had taken over. After the interim national, you don't want me to talk again? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. So, hello. Yes. So, before then, Babangida had been forced to step aside, replacing himself with Shoneko, under the arrangement they call interim national government, which Justice Dolapo Akisoya declared was illegal. Don't forget that Basi Peme declared in the midnight judgment that the election could not go on, based on the what do you call it? Case filed by Aton Intelligence under the banner of ABN, Association for Better Nigeria. All of these people should go into the dustbin of history. And they are not Democrats. And because they are not Democrats, we should not dignify them to say that what they arranged on June 12th was democratic. It wasn't. But June 12th gained the popularity because MKO Abiola was the candidate. It was the respect they have for MKO Abiola that made June 12th to become what today. Now, if there was no